My name is Nina. I lived in a small house with my parents. My mother was a soft, kind woman who filled our home with warmth. My father was strict sometimes, but he loved me deeply. Every night, we used to sit together, eat, and talk about our day. I was their world, and they were mine. I dreamed of studying well, becoming something big, and making them proud. But life doesn't always follow our dreams. When I was 12 years old, everything changed. One night, my mother suddenly fell down. She was holding her chest, struggling to breathe. My father rushed her to the hospital, and I waited outside, crying and praying. But she never came back. The doctor said it was a heart attack. That day, my world broke. After her death, my father became someone I didn't recognize. He started drinking every day. The man who once cared for me stopped seeing me. Our house, once filled with laughter, became silent and cold. A few months later, he remarried. At first, I thought things would get better. I thought I would get a mother again. But I was wrong. My stepmother hated me. She would shout at me for small things. She made me do all the housework. Slowly, she stopped sending me to school. "Why do you need education?" she would say. "Stay at home and work." My father, he never stopped her. He was always drunk, lying in one corner, unaware of my pain. Days passed like this. I felt trapped. I felt alone. One day, after being scolded and beaten for something I didn't even do, I couldn't take it anymore. I quietly packed my small bag, and I left my house. I walked for a long time until I reached a bus stop. I sat there, hugging my bag, with tears in my eyes. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. For the first time in my life, I had no home. After some time, a car stopped near me. A well-dressed couple came out. They looked kind, gentle. They came closer and asked softly, "Who are you? Why are you here alone?" I tried to control my tears, but I couldn't. I told them everything, about my mother, about my father, about my stepmother, about how I was forced to leave school. They listened silently. The woman's eyes filled with tears. They didn't think twice. They took me to their house. It was huge, beautiful, something I had never seen before. They gave me food first. I ate like I had never eaten before. The lady smiled and said, "From today, you are safe." They didn't treat me like a servant. They treated me like family. They gave me food, education, respect, and most importantly, love. For the first time after my mother's death, I felt alive again. They had a son, but he was studying abroad. I had never seen him. They never talked much about him, and I never asked. Years passed. I grew up. I studied hard. I became confident, strong. But I never forgot what they gave me. One day, everything changed again. Their son came back home. His name was Arjun. The moment I saw him, my heart stopped. He was tall, handsome, and confident. But his eyes, they were warm, kind, just like his parents. He looked at me with surprise. "Who is she?" he asked. His parents smiled and told him everything about me. From that day, something changed. At first, he was just kind. He would ask me if I had eaten. He would help me with my studies. He would bring me books, gifts, and sometimes chocolates, just like my father used to do. But slowly, his care became something more. His eyes followed me everywhere. One day, I slipped while walking in the garden. Before I could fall, he held me. His arms were strong, protective. For a moment, we just looked at each other. My heart started beating fast. That was the moment I realized I was falling in love. When he confessed his love, I rejected him. Not because I didn't love him, but because I respected his parents too much. My heart wanted to say yes, but my mind stopped me. But he didn't give up. His love became stronger, more intense. He cared for me even more. If I avoided him, he waited. If I ignored him, he stayed. "If loving you is wrong, I will still love you," he said once. Days passed like this, and slowly, I broke, because I loved him too, deeply, endlessly, but I was still afraid. One evening, I was alone in the kitchen. I was making dinner. The house was quiet. His parents were in the living room. I didn't hear him come in. Suddenly, I felt someone behind me. Before I could turn, strong arms wrapped around me from behind. I froze. My heart started beating fast. It was him. "Arjun," I whispered. He rested his chin gently on my shoulder. I could feel his breath near my neck. My hands started shaking. For a moment, I didn't move. I didn't push him away, because deep inside, I didn't want to. But then, reality hit me. "Someone will see," I said quickly, trying to move. But he tightened his hold just a little. "Let them see," he said calmly. That sentence shook me. Slowly, I removed his hands and stepped away. But I couldn't look at him, because I knew if I looked, I would lose myself completely. That night, we were all sitting together for dinner. I tried to act normal, but I could feel his eyes on me. Suddenly, under the table, his fingers were tightly holding mine. I looked at him in shock. He didn't even look at me. He was eating calmly, talking to his parents, as if nothing was happening. But his fingers were tightly holding mine. My heart was beating so fast. "Arjun, leave," I whispered slowly. He gently pressed my hand. "No," he whispered back without looking at me. I tried to pull away, but he didn't let go. At that moment, I looked up, and my eyes met his mother's. She had seen it. Everything. But she didn't say anything. She just looked at us, calmly. His father also noticed how Arjun kept looking at me, like I was his whole world. But they stayed silent. A few days later, his mother called me to her room. "Nina," she said gently, "we are thinking about your marriage." My heart stopped. "I want to know your opinion," she continued. "Is there anyone in your heart?" My hands started shaking. "If there is someone," she said kindly, "tell us. We will talk to him." At that moment, I thought of Arjun, his love, his care, his eyes. But fear won. "No," I said softly. "There is no one in my heart." I could feel someone watching. I turned slightly. Arjun was standing at the door. He heard everything. "My decision is yours," I continued, my voice trembling. "I will marry whoever you choose, but I need some time. I am not ready now." His face, it changed. The warmth in his eyes disappeared. Pain replaced it. And I saw it. I felt it. But I stayed silent. His mother noticed everything. She saw his pain. She saw my silence, and she understood. So she did something unexpected. During dinner time, she said casually, "Nina, can you call Arjun? He is in his room." My heart started beating fast, but I nodded and went. I knocked on his door. No response. Slowly, I opened it. He was standing near the window. Before I could say anything, he pulled me into his arms, suddenly, strongly. "Arjun!" I gasped. Before I could react, he kissed me. I froze. For a second, my mind stopped working. Then I pushed him away. "What are you doing?" I said, shocked, breathless. His eyes were filled with anger and pain. "Why did you lie to my mom?" he asked. His voice was deep, hurt. "I am not in your heart?" he demanded. I looked down, unable to answer. "Answer me, Nina," he said, holding my shoulders. "Please," I said softly, my voice breaking. "Don't push me into a difficult situation." He stared at me for a moment, then again. He pulled me closer, this time slower, more intense. He held me firmly, his eyes locked into mine. "Look into my eyes and say you don't love me," he said. He leaned closer, closer. My heart was racing, and just before he could kiss me again, I pushed him away and ran. As I ran downstairs, I stopped suddenly. His mother was standing there. She had seen everything. My heart dropped. I couldn't even look at her. But she didn't look angry. She looked calm, understanding. That night, the house was quiet, too quiet. No one spoke about what happened, but I knew everything had changed. I stayed in my room, sitting near the window, holding my hands tightly. My heart was still racing from what happened in his room, his touch, his anger, his pain, and that question, "Am I not in your heart?" Tears rolled down my cheeks. "Why is this so difficult?" I whispered. Because the truth was simple. I loved him, but I was afraid of losing the people who gave me a life. The next morning, his mother called me. "Nina, come sit with me," she said gently. I sat beside her, my eyes lowered. I couldn't face her. "I saw everything yesterday," she said calmly. My hands started shaking. "I'm sorry," I whispered. She held my hand softly. "Why are you saying sorry?" she asked. I looked up in shock. "Do you think we don't understand?" she continued. "The way he looks at you, the way you try to hide your feelings, we saw it long ago." Tears filled my eyes again. "I didn't want to hurt you," I said. "You gave me everything. I didn't want you to think I stayed here for your son." Her expression softened even more. "Nina," she said, "we gave you a home because we loved you, not because we expected anything back. And if our son loves you, that only makes us happier." I couldn't stop crying. Years of fear disappeared in that moment. Later, his father called me too. He was a man of few words, but that day he spoke clearly. "Do you trust us?" he asked. "Yes," I said immediately. "Then trust our decision too," he said. "If you and Arjun love each other, we have no problem." My heart felt light. For the first time, I felt free to love him. After his parents spoke to me, everything inside me changed. The fear I carried for years slowly disappeared. For the first time, I allowed myself to dream. A life with him. A future with him. A few days later, his parents called him to the living room. I was nearby, but hidden. They didn't know I could hear everything. Arjun, his father said seriously, we are planning your marriage. Arjun looked surprised. Now? He asked. Yes, his mother said calmly. He shook his head immediately. I cannot marry now. When I am ready, I will tell you, he added firmly. His parents exchanged a small smile. We have already found a girl for you, his father said. Meet her once. If you like her, we will arrange everything. Arjun sighed, slightly frustrated. Mom, Dad, I don't want to meet anyone now. Please. There was a pause. Then his mother asked softly, Why? Is there someone in your heart? For a moment, he didn't speak. Then, slowly, he said, Yes. But I cannot tell you now, he continued. When the time comes, I will introduce her to you. Hearing that, my eyes filled with tears. Even now, he chose me. Even now, he protected our love. The moment I stepped forward, I couldn't stay hidden anymore. My heart pulled me forward. Slowly, I walked behind him. He didn't notice. Then I spoke. Oh, really? He froze. I thought you would marry me, I said softly. But you already have someone else? He turned around quickly. His eyes widened in shock. Nina? He whispered. What is going on here? His parents smiled warmly. She is the girl we chose for you, his mother said gently. For a moment, he just stood there, looking at me, confused, surprised. Are you playing with me? He asked, his voice low. I shook my head. A small smile appeared on my lips. No, I said softly. I love you. His eyes changed instantly. All the confusion disappeared. Only love remained. I took a deep breath. My hands were shaking. But this time, I didn't stop myself. Will you marry me? I asked. For a second, he didn't move. Then suddenly, he pulled me into his arms, tightly, as if he never wanted to let me go again. Yes, he whispered near my ear. 1,000 times yes. His parents watched us with happiness in their eyes. That moment felt like a dream. Our marriage was simple, but filled with love. Not just ours, but the love of a family that chose me. The girl who once had no home was now becoming the daughter and daughter-in-law of the same house. I wore a beautiful smile that day, because for the first time in my life, I felt complete. But life didn't give me an easy start. It took everything from me. But then, it gave me something more beautiful. A family, a home, and a love that never gave up on me.